Welcome to another Young Female Entrepreneurs live show, the show that happens every Thursday night here in the Oval Eye TV studio at youngfemaleentrepreneurs.com/live. Tonight's show is about persistence. Ashley Taylor is my guest of daretashine.com, and there's some dashes in there, and we'll make sure that it goes in the lower third so you guys can find her afterwards. But this is also our first night of bringing in the YFE chat, popular Twitter chat, and with the live show. So it's going to be a fun one. Make sure that you stick through the whole thing, but in the first 10 minutes, we've got a really big announcement as far as the Bootstrap Book Club goes. So tweet it out. Make sure people are watching. Alright, so my name's Jennifer Dono. I am the host of Young Female Entrepreneurs. Like I was saying, this is the live show that happens every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern at youngfemaleentrepreneurs.com/live. And tonight we're bringing in our popular YFE chat. We've partnered with CNN International in the past with this. We've been trending nationwide on that particular chat, and it's been going strong for the last almost 2 years. So this is a big deal that we're combining the two, and over the next 4 weeks, including tonight, so the next 3 weeks, if you're not including tonight, we're going to be tweaking the format, making it work so that in January, which I'm going to announce in just a few minutes, we've got some really cool guests on. I'm going to announce one of them tonight. And like I was saying, Daring Ashley, that's her Twitter handle, Ashley Taylor. She's going to be on the show in just a few minutes talking about persistence. Ashley has a really interesting background. And that one of the things that caught my eye about her is I'm friends with her on Facebook, and the girl shares everything that's happening in her life. And it's funny because through that, I've really gotten to know Ashley. I finally was just like, okay, I got to meet this girl on Skype. So I got her up on Skype, and I said, I don't mean to stalk you, but I know like everything about you. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that and persistence and what to do when bad things happen, because Ashley is one of those like super transparent people where she shares the good and the bad on her Facebook page. So like I said, we're on the Twitter chat too, and you guys, I know it's not perfect at this point because it is. We're really just trying to play around with the formatting here. You can see a few people chatting in on Twitter, and then we've got it up on the home page. If I can pop it over here. It's on the live page. I don't think I have any of them up here, but we've got some people chatting on the youngfemaleentrepreneurs.com/live page too. So the big thing here is that if you have feedback, if you're like, Jen, this would be great. One of the things that we're doing here at ovaleye.tv is that this is all us, right? So we're streaming, we host this stream, we're doing all the production, all of it is live, and then we host the video afterwards. It's all like super custom made, and we're starting to do this for brands now. And one of the things that we're doing is actually trying to develop a chat, because we've used things in the past and there's no one product out there that just works perfectly for our community and for other shows like ours. So what I need from you guys is feedback. I want to figure out how we can do this for our community and make it super impactful, and that you meet tons of awesome young women across the United States, across the world, and that it'll be really effective for you and you'll want to come back every Thursday. So feedback, you can go to youngfemaleentrepreneurs.com/contact and just type in, say, Jen, this is dumb, don't do this. Or Jen, this is great. Try and make it constructive. But I'm really excited to hear that. So before I welcome Ashley on, again, if you're just showing up now, you're watching the Young Female Entrepreneurs live show and coinciding YFE chat. So that's up here on Twitter if you're on Twitter. So last week was our holiday guide. It was episode 39. Today is episode 40. And over the next few weeks, on the 13th, our theme is going to be review. So reviewing 2012, seeing what worked, what didn't work. And I'm going to be talking about that in just a second. The 20th is on goal setting, and the 27th is on change. And so that's the next 3 weeks, and we're going to really be tweaking the format. So again, feedback is super helpful. And you can find the show on youtube.com/YFentrepreneur. So if you're on Twitter and you're like, what the heck is going on? I don't get it. Go to YouTube. You can find it out the next day. And we're also on iTunes on video and audio format. So really fast, as far as the next week goes and this theme and working on the format, we've partnered with Tout. So it's not like I shouldn't say partnered because I don't want to get in trouble or anything like that, but I've been talking to their team and they've been super responsive about everything. And I've absolutely loved working with them. But Tout.com is a video service that I found out from someone in the YEC, Ashley of Business Beware. She was actually on the show, and she loves this service. So I talked to Tout about it, and I said, hey, how can we get involved? They made us a channel. So we're next to Zappos and CNBC. And so what they're doing is that if you go to Tout and you do a 15-second video update, you record it. See, I just click on this little button. It's an application. See, you can see behind the scenes at Ovalite TV. You can either record it then and there, or you can actually upload it by hitting the second button. But upload a 15-second little piece, and I'm going to say in a second what I want you to upload for next week. And then include the hashtag YFETV. And this is an application that I am committing to getting more involved with in this month, because I think it's really cool that you can do video updates, that type of a thing. But for this week in particular, by Wednesday, the 12/12 day, upload or record a 15-second video of yourself telling us what you learned in the year. So next week is all about review, right? So it could be a really good thing, like by adding this email subscription, I had more business, or I did this and it changed something, or maybe it was a mistake. I partnered with someone and it was a bad thing. Next time I'm going to look for this. So 15-second updates. I want to showcase as many young female entrepreneurs as we possibly can on the show. And bonus, Tout is watching, and bonus, other people are watching with the channel, and bonus, it'll get spread out through our other social media channels. So make a promise to do that for next time. I'm very excited about it. So I'm trying to check in on the chat every once in a while to see how you guys are doing and if you have questions. But that's the big thing with Tout next week. So again, 12/12 by Wednesday, upload a 15-second or record a video of yourself telling us what worked or what didn't work, what you learned in 2012. And then we're going to talk about that. You may or may not be shown on the Young Female Entrepreneurs live show next Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. So very cool. So now I know a lot of you came for a certain fun announcement. Let me check the chat roll to see if the women that are behind it are on. Oh, sorry, I don't have it. It's weird off. Here, see if that works. We'll go like this. Papa, so you guys can see it. So a couple of them that are in top of or on that have created this. So it's called the Bootstrap Book Club. So that was feedback that we got from our community, that you really wanted to have a place where you could read books and discuss the things that you were learning. And Young Female Entrepreneurs tried to do it with a couple of people in the community, just doing like it ourselves. And we're busy people. So Bootstrap Book Club is created by kickstartkitchen.com. And it's two women, Jules and Christina. If you've watched the show in the past, you know who I'm talking about. They're two business coaches that have partnered together, and they do these awesome programs. And one of them is this free club. And so we're reading right now The Pumpkin Plan. And The Pumpkin Plan is by Mike. You're all going to totally laugh at me, but I practiced this like 100 times before. Michalowicz. And he makes fun of himself in the book too. And the guy is so nice, just like a nice bubbly guy. And the book is incredible. If you guys have read the E-Myth, I know a lot of you have read that. This book kind of builds on top of it by including some other concepts like Start with Why and Purple Cow. And it's all kind of bundled together in this Bible of a business book. And I think it's awesome. And so our big announcement, well, first of all, huge thank you to Jules and Christina for creating this awesome community. I'm part of it, and it's amazing. It's so engaging. They put out a question, and people answer it. So Mike Michalowicz is actually going to be a guest on Young Female Entrepreneurs Live. We should have like loaded up a drum roll or something like that for that. Yeah, it's really incredible. And you know what's even more incredible is that Jules and Christina are going to be interviewing him. So it's going to be Mike and Jules and Christina. And so if you haven't joined the book club yet, join the book club now. It's kickstartkitchen.com/book-club. And I actually have the book. Let me pull it up on my iPhone. So this is a nice thing if you want to support young female entrepreneurs and Ovalite and all the cool things that we do here. You can go to audibletrial.com/Ovalite and you can actually get this book for free. as an audiobook. So I listen to it on Audible. And so I go to the gym and I listen to it and see. No? Yeah? No? Sorry. Okay, it's on there. It's a really, really good audio read because he makes like the voices, he impersonates the people that he does quotes from, and it's just fun. And I kind of will every once in a while laugh on the treadmill and the people next to me. I'm like, what's going on? So anyway, very cool book, very cool guest. That's January 3rd, and you guys can go to, this is really big if you're watching live, go to yfe.me/pumpkinit. Can you pop that up one more time? I have it on there. yfe.me/pumpkinit, and there's a click to tweet button. Click to tweet it and say that you just found out that he's going to be a guest, and make sure that you put it on your calendar, and it's really cool, and we're so excited, and join the club. So anyway, so those are our two big things to help for next week, and the book club moving on, and all of the people that are on Twitter are probably like, what the heck is going on? But we'll start doing the questions now. So I'm going to pose these questions to Ashley, who I'm going to welcome in just a second. What's going to happen? Again, testing out the format. Feedback is welcomed. I'm going to ask Ashley a question, and then click to tweet it out, and you guys can retweet it, talk about it, give your own feedback, listen to what Ashley has to say, and also pose Ashley questions too. So this is what we're going to try out tonight and see how it goes. So Ashley Taylor is a finely tuned, okay, so this like screams copywriter all over it. Ashley Taylor is a finely tuned, well-educated machine. She is street smart and layered with formal education to fit her life's calling. Empower the masses. She is the catalyst that will unstick your universal flow. She is the demolition team that will smash your inner blocks. She is the master architect that will build your dreams and visions into a sparkly new empire with a solid foundation of love and confidence. She is a big city dweller with the heart of a star child. She is holistic in her approach to healing, empowering, and kicking. A natural born killer of multitasking. There isn't an avenue she won't travel for the best way to get your motor started. So Ashley Taylor, welcome on to Young Female Entrepreneurs Live. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
All right, so Ashley, we're going to go ahead and get it kicked off right away, just really fast. That was a very empowering, exciting bio, but what exactly do you do?
I am an online business manager along with being a copywriter. So I kind of mix a lot of different things into my whole business, and it's come a long way, but that's kind of where I'm at today.
Okay, very cool. Now, so just to make sure that everyone knows, one of the neat things that I like about you is just that you are an interesting just what do you call that? Example of a young female entrepreneur in that you do this full time, right? You support yourself. You're single, you live on your own, and you're doing it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Our first question is going to be, I'm going to tweet this out, and I usually don't talk like this on the show, but I want to make sure that everyone knows what I'm doing, so you guys can RT it, all that fun stuff. How did you get your first client?
Oh, gosh. Well, like I was saying earlier, I've come a long way. My business has taken a lot of different directions over the last year because I've really been an entrepreneur, quote unquote, for the last year. And slowly but surely, I really started getting clear on what my actual niche was because I was really focusing so hard and trying to do what I thought I was supposed to be doing. So I went from being a health coach to being a full-time business coach to finally really honing in on my skill set, which is more based around technology, supporting people, organizing businesses with a blend of copywriting. So once I got really clear on what my offers are, all of a sudden it kind of happened overnight, literally. I kind of revamped my entire service offerings, offered myself as a virtual assistant, which is more of like a commonly known kind of term. And of course, there's a lot of entrepreneurs that need a VA or need the assistance. So as soon as I kind of clarified that on my medium, which is Facebook, one of the mediums you can use, just letting my audience know what I actually can offer them, that's when I kind of got the inflow of clients. And from there, I ended up getting a wait list.
So it was a lot about clarification then, and I don't have this queued up as a Twitter chat piece, but is there any specific method you use for clarifying what it is that you had to offer?
A lot of it was just going really inward because what we end up trying to do so much is we spend a lot of money on different programs and we try to find like different coaches that we kind of aspire to. And while that's definitely good, we are in it kind of this place where it's a lot of over communication. And for me, I know for a while there, I was getting at least 100 different newsletters. There's so many coaches, there's so many entrepreneurs, there's so many different recommendations and tools and tricks that for me, once I kind of went inward and kind of unsubscribed and stopped following or stopped paying attention or stopped comparing, was when I actually was able to get really clear on what it was that I was naturally talented at. And then, of course, I do give a lot of credit to some really close girlfriends of mine that really helped me kind of wake up and recognize that I wasn't actually offering the proper services. I was really being inspirational without really letting my audience know what they can actually purchase from me.
I think a lot of us have that problem where you kind of get on a certain track seeing what other people do, and then you forget to sell what it is that you actually do.
Yeah, and that's the funny part is like it's usually the one that's right under your nose. It's like the skill set that you've always been naturally like talented at because I've come from a corporate background, so I already had like the marketing, I did an MBA, and then I went for the health coaching degree. But a lot of the times, your natural skills, whatever you're most passionate about, is actually the thing that you've had inside of you the whole time.
All right, so let's move on to so the next question, again, I'm going to make a big deal about the question. Apologize. I'll just do that for the next couple of weeks and I'll try and tweak this method. But so the next question I'm going to be tweeting out. So make sure that you tweet your responses too, because Ashley is great and I'm very excited to hear her response. But tweet, say, hey, Ashley, I understand that too, and share what your experience is, because I am on the chat and I'm super excited to share your tweets with everyone that's watching. So tweet out your response too. So Ashley, the next question is, when did you know it was time to ditch your full-time job?
Well, that's a funny story actually, because I've been in corporate for, gosh, like the last 6 years. I've been in law firms. I've done kind of everything, and I did get laid off once, and a lot of things have happened along the lines of like a corporate job. Now, I guess I really started knowing and noticing that this wasn't what my true calling was back at my like last full-time corporate job was when I kind of stepped out and I did make the decision to enroll in Institute for Integrative Nutrition. And that was kind of the snowball effect. That was the first time I ever really kind of went outside of the grid and like didn't do what people were expecting me to do. So that was really the catalyst to moving forward. Now, the last year, I did still have a corporate job. I had a full-time job on the side, which was all remote, which was a beautiful thing because then I could be focusing more and more on my business and building it while I was kind of growing everything. And all of a sudden, it just kind of hit me that I really wanted to move to the East Coast. And for those of you that have been following me, you kind of have seen my whole story unfold. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail here because it could easily be a whole call on itself. But I ended up making the decision to kind of uproot myself, and I pretty much did the whole Tim Ferriss 4-hour work week proposal to my corporate boss. And I said, look, this job has been remote for the last year. I've done nothing but great work. I'm really ready to kind of like go to the East Coast. So I gave that proposal and they weren't too happy with it. So at that point, I'm like, well, you know what? This is what my intuition is telling me. My desire is definitely kicking in pretty big here. I've been wanting to do this for, gosh, like the last year and a half. So I ended up pretty much just giving them like my middle finger and was just like, okay, you guys, like, I understand and I respect your decision and I really appreciate the job that I've had here, but I've got to do what's right for me. And from there is when I kind of left corporate.
So did you have clients so you were already working with clients then at the time?
During my corporate job?
Yeah, right.
Right, yeah. I was building my business for the last year.
But when you actually filed, said, hey, this is my 2 weeks notice, did you have an income coming in on the side?
Not enough.
Okay.
Not enough. Not anything steady.
So did you have any kind of little moments of freak out or panic at any point?
No, I didn't. Not at that point, just because I knew that this was exactly what I wanted to do, and I kind of just gave it up, and I'm like, well, it's going to happen regardless. Like, if the first month is a little bit tight, then that's okay.
Well, and okay, so there's a couple of pieces of feedback from the Twitter chat. One was Stacey Harris on your last point, as far as the evolution of growth for her was. She said, "I'm sharing my desktop too if you want to show." She was saying that this is the same story of evolution for you, growth after she started being herself. And actually, that's interesting because Stacey Harris at the Stacey Harris. That was a big piece of when I was first meeting her, is that she was saying she was rebranding and how it felt more empowering to just be herself. And then Penelope at Pens _ says, she says, when I unsubscribed and turned inward, I was able to find my true talents. So she resonated with what you said. Well, at least
Yeah,
she are tweeting.
that's a huge thing.
A lot of people seem to be resonating with that, so that makes a lot of sense. Now, as far as the next question goes, again, making a big deal about the question, how much of your life do you share online in terms of the highs and lows? This is a really interesting question. I want to hear from everyone on this because, Ashley, whatever you're doing is awesome. So how much of your life do you share online in terms of the highs and lows? And is this part of a larger biz strategy? That's what I've been kind of wondering when I'm following you. Like, is there a bigger, like, is there something you're thinking of whenever you share, like, that New York was a bad experience for you or whatever it is?
Yeah, honestly, it's not really a strategy so much. It kind of goes more along the lines of really finding your voice and finding who you are, which really does connect to the skill set and what you want to be doing in the world. For me, it's something that really kind of came after I did work with Nisha Moodley. Because for the longest time, for most of my life, I never felt comfortable in who I was or sharing my voice or really sharing my story. So I was definitely more of an introvert, more of a shy child, and I always felt very sheltered. So when I finally found, I guess, quote unquote, like the right tribe or the right, kind of blossomed from there, and I finally owned my voice and I found power and trust that people actually do want to hear me. And now I do kind of look at it now today after doing it for the last, I guess, 2 years. Of course, there is always going to be a line, like you don't want to cross the line. I do like to keep certain things private, and I'm kind of really going a little bit more inward now just to like kind of figure out what my strategy is going to be for 2013. But it's really just about connecting with people. And the thing that I always love to do is make sure that everyone knows that this is possible for anyone. And that's what I love sharing my story about because it inspires so many people. Just recognizing that I came from nothing, quote unquote, to like not six figures, but I'm definitely moving towards that. And having a wait list come in overnight after having no money.
Yeah, now there's a couple of people that are giving feedback on here about your last point. Jules Taggart, she didn't really feel ready as far as leaving off in the job part, so I'm backtracking just a bit, but she had two choices. She could grow her business or work at a job, and she couldn't do both, which I think is along the lines of kind of what you were saying, too. Now, another point.
I just want to make a quick point on that.
Yeah.
It is very important to keep a day job until you feel like you have enough support or backing or push. I do advise, like that's something that has been told to me and I fully do believe in it. You do want to make sure that you keep a day job, but there's nothing that says that you can't build a business on the side. There's a lot of successful people that have day jobs and they are still rocking their business on the side. So there's always enough time to manage both. It's about how you're managing your life and what's most important to you, because that's what happens too, is a lot of us, we want to become entrepreneurs or we want to be business owners, but unless that passion is really there and unless you're really excited about what you're doing and your bigger why in the world, then of course it's not going to be something that you're going to be focusing your attention on. So I wanted to make a note that it is possible to kind of have both as long as you're kind of managing.
It's good to reiterate that. Now, as far as the Kate at Kate Thoughts for Food, and I have her Twitter up too, she said as far as being open and sharing with people that she tries to, I try to be open about what's happening with work and life, but only to the point I feel comfortable, which sounds kind of what you're doing, like what you've done, Ashley, is that you've evaluated what it is that, what your values are, I guess, in life, and what it is that you want to share with your tribe, and what kind of a tribe you want to build up. So that's an interesting point to bring up. So the next question that I'd ask, or that I am going to ask, is how do you get out of your entrepreneurial funks where you search for jobs or question whether or not you can do it. And now, Ashley, I know that you've you've given into your entrepreneurial funks in the past, because Ashley shares on Facebook. She says, I looked for this job for a while, and it's been a few months since you've done that. And it's always fun to see the comments that come in, and the next day how just like reinvigorated you are, and you're just all excited about, getting new clients, bringing up new business. So how do you get out of that?
With that, it's definitely going inward and kind of stepping away from the whole thing, because we always are going to get into funks. And 1 month, and with entrepreneurship, it's very much a roller coaster, and it is a big learning experience. So you're going to have those moments, especially when you don't have that job to support you, and you're like, well, I'm all I've got at the end of the day. So that's kind of where my funks really come up, is I get into these freak out modes where I'm like, oh gosh, is this really going to work out? And you start questioning yourself. But the best thing to do when you hit one of those moments is really just breathe and kind of maybe get out of your environment, because that tends to help me a lot. I've actually just really started doing that, where I notice that if I stay in my apartment for most of the day, because I work all day, if I shift my environment and I go somewhere different, it actually helps me get a lot more work done. And also, again, I really just want to pay attention to having a really good tribe or community that you really do trust. So if you can at least have, whether it be a coach or a mentor or someone that you aspire to be, or a really close friend that kind of is on the same page as you and maybe is going through the exact same stuff that you're going through. A lot of my friends are scattered, whether they're in the higher levels of making six figures or just starting out. It's really good to have a mixture and a really good community that's going to be there. So when you do hit those moments, you can call someone or send them an email to make sure that they know what's going on for you. And chances are they're going to be there, like supporting you and cheering you on and kind of being that shoulder to cry on when you get those moments of doubt.
So on the flip side, we're talking about like being in those weird moments. Now there's another point. So this is the next question, you guys. This is going to be the last question, actually, because we got to get into our after party. Ashley, are you going to stay around for the after party?
Definitely, yeah.
Yay! So it's on the after party's on Twitter at YFE chat, the hashtag. Now, Ashley, my last question is kind of following in the same line, and I know I've talked to a number of young female entrepreneurs, and we're all kind of in this point where, how do you stay confident in your work when your future is on shaky grounds? And you've been in this place before, so how is it that you stayed? Was it a lot like the entrepreneurial funk kind of a piece, or was there something else that really helped you say, this is my mission in life, this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep moving forward?
It's really more about getting connected to your bigger why and what it is that drives you. Again, if it's something that you're just not passionate about, then of course your future is going to feel a lot more shaky, and it's going to be easier for you to doubt yourself or question yourself. But if you have total confidence that this is all you would want to do, at the end of the day, that's all that matters, then that's really the only piece of advice that I can give for that, because as long as there's passion behind it, you're going to keep going. And you just have to keep believing that you have this, and you just have to constantly keep in check with yourself and make sure you're surrounded by the right people.
Yeah, my producer just whispered in my ear, Think and Grow Rich. And that is, have you read that book, Ashley?
No, I haven't.
Oh my gosh. Okay, everyone that is watching this right now, my parents literally, one Christmas, and I partner in business with my parents, but they bought all of us kids Think and Grow Rich, the one that's like on the shelf over there, and it's the workbook version, and it's all about this idea that you guys, if you're tweeting now, just say if you've read it or not. It's about the idea that you follow your passion, you figure out what your passion is, and then have this burning desire is what he talks about. And it's funny that you bring that up, that idea that you follow your passion and you keep your eye on the prize kind of a thing. Felix Baumgartner, I have his little quote now up on my laptop, and he talks about the BS excuses that we put on ourselves, and those are the only reasons why we don't do well. And so you guys, if you're not following Ashley yet, a lot of the things that she says I really connect with her on, because you are a little bit woo-woo, but not enough to where I'm like, gosh, what is this girl talking about? But
I like to keep it kind of balanced, the middle ground.
And you do a great job at it too. And everything that you say, it's just a nice little check, and it's fun to see. it's just, this is what I keep talking to people about too. And Arel Moody, who's on the Impact Awards, he's been on the show, and he was saying how the more women we see being in the positions of, you know, being self-employed or being an entrepreneur or doing something like that, the more women say, oh, I can do that too. And so by you sharing what happens on a day-to-day basis, if we share images or photos or just quotes or whatever it is, women can see, oh, it is possible, like you said. So I think that's great. And Ashley, where can we all find you online?
Yeah, you guys can go to my website. It's www.dare-to-shine.com. And I'm at Daring Ashley on Twitter. And Facebook is just Dare to Shine.
All right. So, Ashley, thank you again so much for being on the show. I really appreciated all of your insights. And like a lot of the women were commenting on the Twitter chat that it's refreshing to hear that someone else is going through similar things as we are. So, again, thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right, so you've been watching the Young Female Entrepreneurs live show that happens every Thursday night. Make sure that you guys tout in those pieces. So tell us what it was that happened in 2012 that you learned from, the good, the bad, whatever it is. Go to tout.com, create a username, and upload this 15-second videos, and make sure that they have that YFE TV hashtag on them. That's really important so we can find them and that you can be looped into the channel. But right now, we're going to pop over to Twitter for our after party. We're going to do this for the next 4 weeks. And again, feedback is appreciated so much. Go to youngfemaleentrepreneurs.com/contact to tell us more about it. You can find replays of this at YouTube and on iTunes. And again, thank you so much for showing up live. Thank you for the chat. And thank you again to Ashley. She was an awesome guest. You've been watching Young Female Entrepreneurs live show. This is Jennifer Dono, and I will see you next Thursday.